doing this just for the Shimu versus Ghidorah remake, which will have Burning and Evolved in it. But let's get started. So the argument to get Nukeamped above Evolved, no, Energized, which is basically not true, is that, Nukeamped was so full of radiation that he was going to explode in 12 minutes, and that Energized is controlled radiation, so Energized should lose, even though that's not true. My argument is that all of that radiation that was given to Godzilla to turn into Burning, even though he couldn't, which I will explain why later, got cramped all the way to his dorsal plates. And for this, my premise is that 1, we can see radiation is clearly coming out of Godzilla's dorsal plates, / exiting out of his dorsal plates, and premise 2, his gills and his mouth are not glowing, but rather are in fact full with radiation. And for this, don't use this statement over here, because this says glowing brighter, and not that the gills and the mouth entirely glowing, being full of radiation doesn't mean that, he was getting stronger, and, yeah. But do these premises hold up? Are they true? Yes, and the reason is because Godzilla's dorsal plates are stated to be, well, confirmed to be, the main compartment for his radiation and his radiation's power, This means, logically, when he will first start to consume radiation, it will go to his dorsal plates, and not through, his belly, because his atomic breath doesn't come out of his throat, it's from the dorsal plates, which are located here. Because in these pictures, whenever Godzilla 2021 tries to side his head to the side, the brightness of, the atomic breath he's about to fire gets dimmed out, glows a little bit dimmer. This means that they're not coming out of his throat. This is the same with Energized Godzilla, where even though he's not about to fire his atomic breath, the radiation, where his atomic breath comes from, glows brighter when he tries to face his head forward towards us, which also means that that his atomic breath, which is a beam of radiation, doesn't come out of his throat, but rather from the dorsal plates, which are located above where, his throat it goes to. The third premise that whenever, Godzilla consumes something at first goes to his dorsal plates is in fact true, because we see with Energized Godzilla, his dorsal plates are first glowing with radiation, then his entire body starts to glow with radiation. This means he was channeling his radiation throughout his entire body. Therefore, this proves my argument being valid. As for Energized Godzilla himself, since we know that he basically just channeled his radiation everywhere throughout his entire body, he is a massive amp above base G24 himself, which I've made an entire video being above G19, so go watch that video. This is in fact confirmed by what his readings suggest, and that the readings also registered he had consumed a huge amount of radiation to grow more powerful. And so with that, the last thing about G19 is that since, the radiation was trapped in his dorsal plates, he needed Mothra's energy to help him assimilate / channel all the radiation back to his entire body, where he can turn into Burning and just, bamboozle Ghidorah. And it just slams negative difficulty.